Good morning students, welcome to today's class. Today from your civics we are learning the last lesson for your board exam. With this we complete the civics portion. The last lesson for you is that is outcomes of democracy. From lesson 1, that is power sharing and federalism, political parties, outcomes of democracy. It is all about the democracy we are studying. So, here we study what is the outcome of democracy. Now, in this lesson, first topic they have given you, how do we assess democracy's outcomes? Now, when we speak about assessment, that means we want to know the degree where it stands, whether it is performing better or whether it is performing average or whatever may be. So, we do the assessment. For example, we assess the students in a class to find out where they stand. Here also when we speak about democracy, we are finding out whether democratical form of government is performing better or other form of government is performing better. Now, rather than democracy, what are other forms of government? We can say a government by dictatorship, or government by a monarchy, or a government by a military rule, or a government by a religious leader. So, these are other forms of government. So, we are assessing with these other forms of government which is the better form of government, whether it is democracy, whether it is dictatorship form of government, military form of government, or monarchical form of government, or a country ruled by a religious leader. Among these, which is better, that is what we are going to learn. So, when we speak about democracy, there is always the conclusion that is democracy is the better form of government. Now, why do we say that democracy is the better form of government? For this we have some criteria why we say the democratical form of government is the better form of government. So, first, what does a democracy does? It promotes equality among the citizens. In a democracy, all the citizens are equal. There is no one is high, one is low, because in a democracy when we elect our leaders, everyone has got one vote each. There is no rich can give more vote or poor can give less vote. It is not there. Everyone is equal in front of democracy. It promotes equality among the citizens. Second one is it enhances the dignity of every human being. It enhances or it recognizes the dignity of every citizen in country. That is the second thing which gives democracy, that it is the better form of government. Third one is that is the citizens, the people participate in the decision making of the government. Now, directly they do not participate, but the elected persons represent the citizens in the decision making. Now, what does when the citizens participate in the decision making, it improves the quality of the decision making. Third one is they have the methods to resolve the conflicts. Democracy, it is for everyone, government is for every section of the society. So, whenever any problem is created, now this problem is solved in a democracy. They have the method to solve this democracy. And last one is whenever government makes any mistake, they have the room to correct this mistake. Democracy allows to correct this mistake. For example, in any of the leader who is elected, if he does not perform in favor of the people, what will the people do? They will withdraw the support in the next election. Therefore, they have allows the room to improve. Then automatically they have the democracy has got the thought, awareness that they should improve, they should perform. If they do not perform better, then automatically they lose the next election. Therefore, it is, we say, better form of government than all other forms of government. Now, these qualities which gives democracy, that democracy is better form of government comparing with all other forms of government. Okay, just to recall once again, I repeat this, that is, it promotes equality among the citizen, enhances the dignity of every human person, improves the quality of decision making, and there are methods to improve or solve the conflict that arises in the society, and also there is a room to correct the mistakes in a democracy. Okay, now this is, under these points we conclude that democracy is the better form of government than other form of government. Second one is, now when we speak about all these features or all these things of democracy, now what do we expect from a democracy? Now when any democracy practices these principles, then it is a successful democracy. Mostly when we see the democracies, they fail to practice all these criteria. When they fail to practice all these criteria, what will be our conclusion? Our conclusion will be that democracy is good in principle, not in practice. That is what we conclude. Democracy is good in principle, not in practice. Okay, now when we speak all over the world, more than 100 countries are practicing today democracy form of government. Now why all favor for the democratical form of government? Because there are some common features which helps the people to live in unity and recognizes every citizen's their rights and dignity. So which are these common features that we find wherever democracy is practiced? These features are, every country that follows the democratical form of government has got a constitution. Now this constitution guarantees every citizen's their rights. And second one is, we can say, that is, every country holds elections. Election where people participate in electing their leaders. And third thing that we speak about, every country, there is a society where they practice equality among the citizens. Now these three things are there which is common in every democracy. Now what are the differences in a democracy? Now when we speak about democracy, we cannot evaluate every country on the same level, that it can achieve development in the social level, economic level, or in the political level, because every country differs. The society differs, the economic development differs, and also the political, the form of government which they make differs. Therefore, we cannot conclude that every democracy will achieve the development or they will grow and help the people in a positive way. And when we speak about the democratical form of government, it is a government which produces or which gives an environment to achieve our goal. It is only a form of government that is formed, and it creates environment for the citizens to develop, to achieve their goal. When we develop and achieve our goal, then automatically the democracy has got success in any country where it is formed. Okay, that is all about the first topic. Now we are going to second topic, that is accountable, responsive and legitimate government. Now when we speak about accountable, first the outcome that we expect from a democracy is that a government should be accountable to the citizens. Now why we say about accountable to the citizens? It is the citizens who elect the government. It is they who choose the government. And when they are choosing the government, they automatically expect the government to be accountable to the people. And in this point, when they say about the accountable, they also should be allowed to participate in the decision making of the government. When they are given this opportunity to participate in the decision making of the government, because the decision which is taken by the government in return affects the citizens, the large number of citizens they are affected, because the decision is made for the people. Now, when it is made for the people, who should be part of this decision making? It is the people who should be part of this decision making. So, when this does take place, now it is automatically the government is accountable, that the democratical form of government is accountable to the people. And second, in this we are discussing about, is it efficient and effective? Democratical form of government is efficient or effective. Now, here when we speak about democratical form of government, whether it is efficient, then we need to compare with the other form of government. Now, other form of government we have already learned, that is monarchical form of government, government formed by the dictatorship or government by military rule. Now, when we compare the democracy with other form of government, now other form of government is more efficient than the democracy. Now, why we speak about other form of government is more efficient? Because in other form of government they don't take any deliberation or any negotiation. They make decisions and without the cooperation, without the participation of the citizens. Therefore, they are very fast, very quick in making decisions. Now, very fast, very quick in making decision, but this decision which is made by the government, which is made by other form of government, may not be accepted by the citizens. They may also protest, but in a democracy it is slow and it takes time to make decisions, because there is a people's participation and there is a deliberation and there is a negotiation takes place. So, as a result, what happens in a democracy? It is slow and it is less efficient. Now, though it is slow and takes lot of time, the time that is spent for taking the decision automatically bears benefit in favor of the people. Therefore, we say that the democratical form of government is far better than dictatorship of form of government. Though they are quick and though democracy is slow, but it is always, we prefer that the democratical form of government is better form of government. Next one is, we are studying about transparency. Now, when we speak about democracy, transparency, whatever decision is taken by the government, it is not single handedly they take, it is the people participate, the ministers participate and they take the decision. Now, this decision which is taken by the government, there is a alternative for the citizens to check. How they check? They have the right and means to examine the process of decision making. This facility is granted to the citizens by the government. When this option is there, the people are able to check whatever decisions taken by the democracies, whether they have followed the right procedure and whether they have stood for the majority of the people. It is the possibilities are there. Therefore, we say that the democratical form of government is transparent and they follow the transparency in decision making, and people have in turn right to examine the decision making process. Therefore, we said it is transparency. Next one is, we told about responsive. Now, when we speak about democracy, we expect from the democracies that they have free and fair elections and also public debate on major policies that they make, and also we expect the citizens' right to information. These all things we expect from a democracy. Now, when we expect these from a democracy, what do we find out? But most of the democracies fail to practice free and fair elections or to take the confidence the citizens, many of the things that they don't take into confidence of the citizen in decision making. They fail in this. And also the right to information. Many of the things what is happening in the parties, the people are not informed. This is the failure of the democracy, but still these are there which the democracy should follow. And when these are followed by the democracies, automatically democracy stands the better form of government than all other form of government. Now, when we speak about responsive means government which is elected by the people, it should be responsible to the citizens, the needs of the citizens, the demands of the citizens, and they should create a government which is free from corruption. Now, when they are doing these things, they are expected to be responsive government. Democracy is expected to be responsive government. And last one we are saying about legitimate. Now, when we say legitimate government, it is better form of government, though it is very slow. We already learned dictatorship, they quickly make the decision which will not be in favor of the people, but in democracy they are slow in making decisions. That is slow and less effective. Like dictatorship, that more effective, it does not take place in the democratical form of government. Though it is less effective, not very responsive or clean. When we speak about very responsive, mostly it is government is formed for the majority of the people. Now, who are these majority of the people? It is the people who are poor. But many of the time democracies does not respond to this poor section of the society. They fail in this. Therefore, we can say not very responsive or clean. When we speak about most of the government, they are not corruption free. The government in democracies, we find that most of the leaders are involved in corruption, all those things. Though all these things, but what we say, democracy is people's own government, because it is the people who vote and elect their leaders, and these leaders form the government. So, as a conclusion, we say that is the government is accountable, responsive and legitimate government. Because legitimate government it is because people's own government, and they have given in your book, that is South Asian countries, when they made a survey like India, Bangladesh, Nepal and these countries, they have given a very good responsive for democratical form of government than any other form of government. Therefore, we say that it is when we assess the democracy outcome, we assess that democratical form of government is better form of government than any other form of government. Okay, in tomorrow's topic we will learn the economic outcome and the social outcome we will learn. Today you learn this topic. Thank you, student.